All right, guys, so I get asked a lot about the car market. Where is it heading? What should we know? What the fuck? What an idiot. Like, this is why you fucking don't let rednecks drive big trucks. They're fucking morons, you know? Like, they can't even fucking look where they're going. But anyways, I get asked a lot, like, basically where the market's going, right? And the way that I look at the market is basically a couple of folds, especially going through a downturn like this. In 2008, I did really well if you watched my last video, and basically it catapulted me into this industry and into this entire business, right? One of the things that people ask me all the time, they go, well, what are we going to see the same things we saw in '08 now? And the reality is we're not. It's going to be a very different environment. So first off, you have to understand that basically the economy's been patched for a long time just to make it look better for the administration to basically try to win a re-election. It wasn't good for the last year. It just looked good on paper. Now, one of the issues is that while it looked good on paper, it just wasn't really good. So when this virus came out of nowhere, it basically ended like the whole, it fast forwarded what they were trying to patch, right? So one of the things that occurred through this basic idea is that it basically set us back to the reality of data and not so much false promises and all of these fake things the feds are doing to basically stabilize an economy that needed a reset. So how are things going to be different this year than they were basically in 2008? Well, there's a couple of things. Credit is not going to be as tight as it was back in '08. It is going to be, but not as tight. The other thing we're also going to find now that we didn't find then is this is going to be really interesting because there is a panic going on right now, meaning people are panicking. They're afraid, so they're dropping out, meaning like they're dumping all their stuff, right? That's where the opportunities lie. It's in the panic purchases. It's not necessarily in the, I'm going to reach out to someone, tell them they need to panic, and then I'm going to get a great deal. And that's, I think, one of the big things people misunderstand about the auto industry. The panic sale or the fear of the future forecast is what creates an opportunity for people to buy things at significant discounts in markets like this. The opportunity you have is basically to be ahead of that market and make good educated decisions to set yourself up for success by understanding the data you're going to be presented. So the newer stuff is going to drop faster, basically, on one basic instance, which is that time depreciation, which we've talked about in a lot of videos, is going to be sped up. It's not that it's going to be more than before, it's just going to work faster. If we waited, let's say 3 years to see the bottom on the 720S McLaren, we're going to see that bottom in 6 months. Basically, it's going to shoot shit to move way faster to the pipeline than anything else. And that's where a lot of the opportunities on newer stuff is going to come in. A lot of the opportunities on the older stuff basically happens with the fear basis of people. So people holding on to Gallardos who don't know if they'll still have their businesses or their jobs, they'll be like, well, it's the first disposable thing that needs to go. And those are really the better buys because those are the ones you're going to be able to buy below market value because there aren't any good customers for those right now. There's always customers for newer shit at the right price. There isn't always a customer for the older stuff, even if it's undervalued, because basically people look at it as, well, I can get a lot more for my money now. However, when the market restabilizes, the old stuff is really where the safety of the money is, where you're going to make money, versus the new stuff is basically where you bought a car way ahead of market at the right price, so you're basically going to not lose any money. So if you're looking for a free drive, look at the newer stuff. If you're looking for a making money opportunity, look at the older stuff. But anyways, that's basically it. Hopefully you understand how this market is going to get impacted. We could start seeing the bottom of things in the next 6 to 8 months, but basically we're going to really be looking into like the early stages of 2021 to really see if there is some type of sign of recovery. And there could be. And if there is a sign of recovery, then basically everything you bought towards the end of the year is going to be a phenomenal opportunity to basically take that and flip that into 2021 if there is a recovery. Otherwise, just hang on to it longer and don't be in panic to sell, because at the end of the day, that's really what causes the market to drop.